Okay. It says we're live. Oh no. Sneeze. Whew. Okay, that was good timing, I guess. Either way, whatever. Hello, welcome. Sorry, my hair's a mess. I feel like I have not been here in forever because I feel like I haven't. Um, I was hoping because I originally had Wednesday and Friday scheduled off. Um, and then they called me in on Wednesday. So, um, schedules are apparently not sacred things, which I have learned. Um, pretty much in every job. um, but yeah, relearning it as I get used to a new job. Um, that's for sure. So yeah. Anyway, hello, welcome. Um, I like want and need to get some writing done today. I have moved a couple more things down, just like done them, after work, whatever, but I have not had any sort of like regular writing sessions by myself. So I need to make sure that that's like a thing. So I don't know if I'm going to start doing more like pop-ups in the evening or like trying to join other people's because I know the evenings are usually there's usually people streaming. So um but yeah. Anyway, the other thing that happened was Saturday as I was coming home from work. Some fool leaned out of the leaned out of the back seat of their, like, they were a passenger but they were behind the driver's side. So anyway, so they leaned out and like threw a frozen bottle of like water or like clear Powerade, Gatorade or something. Broke one of my headlights. Like, and my car has like 3 lights in the front on each side. So there's like the main headlight, the blinker, and some other like smaller light. I think is the like fog light. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a car person. So anyway, they shattered the casing around that third innermost light. So I'm gonna have to at some point get that fixed. Still haven't gotten new tires. Um, so like, all kinds of fun stuff. So today after the stream, I actually need to call the police station and see if the incident report is ready to be picked up. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell them the make or model of the car. I didn't have any like partial license plate, so like nothing is really going to come of it. But I wanted to make a report, one, because I didn't really know what to do, but also two, just to see if they could catch something. Like if they were foolish enough to do that, they were also foolish enough to post it on social media. I don't know. But yeah, so that happened on Saturday. So yeah. But other than that, I am now up to 3 routes with the delivering of the mail. So I've run the secondary route twice. I mean, sort of technically twice. Once was with packages, so it was like combined with another route. And then I've run the third one, which is the shortest, 3 times now. I think that's right. So yeah. But next week I am like, they've got me fully booked everywhere, every day except for Monday. So Monday I will do my best to have a stream. Hope maybe it could be a longer stream. I don't know. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling that day. But I will hopefully be able to get a good amount of writing in today and on Monday. So yay! But also hello. I feel like I haven't said hello. Also today is the new moon. Yeah. So if you are intent on doing some setting of intentions, today is a good time to focus on the things that you want to grow or gain over the next couple weeks. Megan says, I love the cover image for this video. It's very thrilling. Yes, I went with like a preset on Canva. I do like their presets because a lot of times it gives me like, oh, these like type fonts go well together. I'm not real good at picking out matching or complementary typefacing yet. I'm learning through like using their presets, which is nice. I think that's a good way to sort of like start, see what you like, see what catches your attention, and sort of then analyze why it catches your attention. So Rosalind says, I'm glad to be back writing with y'all. Me too. Me too. Cool Gamer says, hey, hello. CB says, hiya. Welcome. Almost looks like a tent over my window. I have my comforter pulled back. I stripped the sheets this morning, and I'm doing laundry. So yeah, that's my comforter. It's just kind of like piled up at the end of my bed. But yeah, it does look sort of like a little tent. CB says, saw Fast and Furious 10 today. It was okay, but it looks like that wasn't the last one. Of course it's not. They're going to run that thing into the ground because it's made so much money for them and it is a cult following. So yeah, it's kind of like how Harry Potter is now getting like a TV series or whatever. I think they're doing that now. But yeah, they're going to run that thing into the ground, guaranteed. Jen says, hi, hello, welcome. Exactly. The Fast and Furiouses will never end. Exactly. I also think, I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel is now sort of like a producer on some of them. Vin Diesel has a really interesting strategy on things because he picks a lot of scripts that garner almost like that sort of cult-like following, like it's very niche type of thing. And so, but he also invests in that movie or that franchise, and he makes sure that any spin-offs or continuations like usually include him, but also like earn him a lot more money than just like regular box office things. He's done that with Riddick. He's done that with Fast and Furious. I'm trying to think of which other ones he's done it with, but it's an very interesting business and strategy move from Vin Diesel. So I also happen to really like the Chronicles of Riddick. So I am not mad at the rumors there's going to be a fourth one of those. So, yeah. CB says, spoiler, oh, well, so-and-so won't be in it. The cast seems to be ever-changing, so who knows? Yeah. I don't know. It's like I'm hoping that it's just like, a one-off thing, but I was texting Bestie about it, and she's like, oh, yeah, some 20-year-old was, like, offed, unalived because some tomfoolery of other teenagers throwing rocks at passing windows or passing cars. So I'm hoping that that's not like a new social media trend. I also I know we have smaller gangs in the area, or like gangs that are attempting to gain footholds. And so I'm hoping it's like not a new initiation type thing, because that would suck if that started happening all over. But yeah, I don't know. I have no answers of like why people are the way people are, because not everybody's that way. So yeah. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure mine was like a frozen either water bottle or like clear Powerade or Gatorade. So, fun times. I'm very glad that, that the windshield did not break. that he threw it sort of like low enough to where it did not impact my windshield and threaten anything more than just the third of my headlights. So I still don't know how much it's going to cost to get it replaced. So I may be angrier later, but for right now, I'm just like, okay. So, Fast and Furious movies are beginning to get a bit like Bond movies. Oh, they're very much built on a formula, just like the Bond movies are. Very much so. HP is getting a TV show. Yeah, that's what I was remembering. So if that trend of throwing things at drivers comes to that side of the pond, it will not be on the TV screens in this house. Oh, no, the HP. Gotcha. You've heard of people doing that from the freeway overpasses. Ooh. And people throwing full soda cans at cars. Yeah, the freeway thing would be more dangerous because you have the higher speeds there. So that would be more dangerous. And that was what the police officer that I spoke to said, that if it was indeed a frozen bottle, like I suspect it was, that it could count as aggravated assault, because a solid object traveling at those speeds might count as the aggravated assault. I don't know why I'm trying to talk around this kind of stuff. I'm not monetized. It's whatever. Yeah. So they do that with trains, to the trains with rocks. Oh, so it seems like it's just like a worldwide assholery. I don't know. Don't like that. Me too. Thank you. Laura is here. Hello. I just saw the notification that on 6/23, Laura is going to be hosting a how to publish short stories, how to look for open submissions and get the things done, because Laura is amazing at finding and getting those things in. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I think it's 6/23. Hopefully I'm remembering that correctly from where I saw it today. Jen says there's something in my mailbox today. Yay! Jen says I can't wait. Yeah, it smashes into the windshields when they do it from the overpasses. Absolutely, because that's definitely way more dangerous than the speed at which we were traveling. So CB says, I watched a show this morning where a train driver almost got blinded by an idiot throwing a brick, which broke the windshield. Yeah, which is why I was very, very grateful that my windshield was not hit. So the show talked about how they're building new trains with better tech to prevent that here. Yeah. I just, I wish we didn't have to. I wish this was not a thing. So, yes, June 23rd, part of the AuthorTube Writing Conference. Yay! As if driving itself wasn't already... Right? Right? Yeah. I talked to one lady at work about it, and she's like, oh, girl, I would have just turned the vehicle around and, chased after them. And I was like, yeah, I don't have that kind of response. I thought about it, but I was like, if they're... No, we're just not going to. Anyway, so I just pulled over and called the non-emergency number. So anyway, your daughter doesn't want to drive, and I totally get it. Yeah, I saw an article, I guess over the last week or so, about how Gen Z really isn't driving. They don't want to. And since Uber and Lyft and all the other options are there, they don't necessarily have to. And then with some public transit options available in the more urban areas, that also counteracts the need for a car. So yeah, so there are people who are waiting very, very long time to get their driver's license and then never using it. So Megan says, I want to get back to driving, but I hate the blind spots on your boyfriend's car. Can you add additional mirrors to it possibly? To combat those blind spots, or get one of the backup cameras or something? I don't know if that's an option with your boyfriend's make and model of car. So CB says, I want to learn to drive and have waited a very long time to do it. Public transport here is a flaming nightmare. That is true. That being said, she won't ride the bus. Oh no. You're a spot mirror girl all the way. Yeah, so that's they put me in one of the Mercedes vans to deliver the other day, and it's one that has apparently been at least sideswiped, if not T-boned, on both sides. So the backup camera doesn't work. And so I was like, the whole point of having one of the points of having this kind of vehicle is to have the backup camera, because it doesn't have the mirror in a mirror situation. So you can't actually see behind you if the backup camera is not working. I was like, okay, just do our best not to have to back up. But anyway, okay, let's do a sprint because I need some writing, and it's 1:19, and we need to stop procrastinating because that's what I'm doing. Present, share screen. We're gonna have to pick a timer. I also need to pick where my document is. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. So I have my document open. So there is that. Yay. I have water. Excellent. So let's start with the 25-minute teapot. Let's start with that. So 1, save your document or go ahead and open it like I just did. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with and go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not hunching too much. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take one. Here we go. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Okay, 329. Not bad for a start. Oops, need to mark that. Okay. Making some progress. Doesn't feel like a huge amount of progress, but it is progress. So again, I will take it. Let's see. Monique, Emma, and Amanda popped in and said hello. Monique just finished editing chapter 14. Nice. Excellent. Now you're going to be editing a big dramatic confrontation at the homecoming dance in chapter 15. Nice. Emma popped in to say hello and boop the like button. Monique just shuffled your tarot deck because you wanted the cards to prompt you. You drew the 4 of Cups inverted. Okay. 5 of Cups. Ooh, definitely a Cups and emotion day. And the 8 of Swords. Ooh, okay. Nice. Amanda says hello. Hello. I tried to switch the laundry and then realized that the first load was like towels and such, and so it's not dry yet. So I just put it in for more. Monique says you've been listening to Pink Floyd a lot. Nice. You love listening to their music while working on your writing. You don't know why, but their music helps you be more productive. Hey, anything that works is good. HK is here. Hello, working on Amazon KDP. Did you see that? I saw that this was announced. I don't remember where I saw it, but KDP is adjusting their printing costs upward, of course. So that may mean that KDP prices are going to change because people who have books on KDP still want their profit margin. So, and I don't blame them. But that just means that all the prices need adjusting. I still have not gone in to look at mine because I haven't, because I don't have much on there. So CB says 173 words. Nice. Good start. HK says, hope everyone is having a great Friday. Yes. So far, it's been pretty nice. Megan says, I didn't make any progress on your next Substack, but you ended up chatting with the boyfriend. That's still good. Amanda is super distractible today. You got stuck on TikTok for several hours, which is why I don't have TikTok. I scroll enough with YouTube and Instagram and the internet in general. So I do not need another thing. I do, like, part of the reason I get stuck scrolling is because people like repost the TikToks on YouTube and Instagram. So I guess I do sort of scroll through TikTok content. But yeah. Megan says, I did some research, so I guess I did make a little progress. Yes, indeed. CB says, I love Bon Jovi, but I can't listen to them while I'm working. Yeah, there are a couple of bands that I cannot. Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely one of them because, a song in particular, but Queen, because I will end up just like having fun karaokeing rather than doing what I'm supposed to be doing. HK is fixing all the prices. No fun at all. Yeah. Amazon Fresh also just upped their prices. Again, not surprised. CB says, I don't have TikTok because I don't have an up-to-date phone. Gotcha. Ooh, Amanda gets to go for a writing date with a friend of yours at a cafe after work, though. Yay! It's your first time trying to write anything in over a year. Yay, that sounds amazing. Sounds wonderful. Have amazing fun times. Get something tasty to go along with it, to drink or to munch on. Yay, that's amazing. All right, let's do the 30-minute timer. And purple teapot. It's a good distraction from being anxious about medical stuff. Yeah. Find out next Thursday if you're going to be getting brain surgery this summer. That's right. Yeah, that would definitely be a good distraction, hopefully. So, yes. But just enjoy the time with the writing friend and the cafe atmosphere and all of that. Okay, so let's do another sprint. Don't forget, second sprint is the self-promo sprint. So if you have something new you want to promote, please make sure you do so. Just remember that if you do not have a blue wrench of power, you will not be able to post direct links. Okay, so 1, save your document and all of the progress that you have made. 2, take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take one. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Just going back through and highlighting some stuff, making some choices, which is always hard for me. I like to put off choices for as long as I possibly can, but then I have to like make some choices. I also just sort of like popped open another document because I was having some stray thoughts in terms of like, you'll know I love making titles. You'll know I love alliteration. And so I have another alliterative title list going just because. And this one I think is specifically for mysteries. Maybe some like firefighter arson type stories going in there as well. Just kind of make it easier in terms of like naming things. And so like I made a choice of like having usually a girl's name attached to the title. So like the options for A would be like Addison's alibi or arrest or arson. For B, I have Brittany's betrayal, but then I also have, just like as a side thought, like different type of title structure, breaking and entering with Brittany. So I'm like, for C, I have like Cassie is the main name, but I also had a Chris in there. I think I prefer Cassie over Chris. But I have like Cassie's clue or concealed weapon or contraband. And then I was like, ooh, what if I did the coroner's contraband? But that might have to belong to a different story or a different series title if you're supposed to have a character's name in the title for this series, which I possibly potentially have in there. I don't know. But then I have, like for G, I've got Ginger's gun. Like that's the only option there because that's a decent one, I think. And then for H, I have Hope as the name. But then I have like Hope's hit and run, Hope's harassment. But then again, wild hair, because your girl always has one. Homicidal Hope. I kind of like that one best out of all three of those. Just like Homicidal Hope. That's a fantastic title, don't you think? Maybe it's just me. But anyway, I prefer Homicidal Hope over the other two. So it's kind of like, yeah, so I've just got like options for things. And some of them I've just got like several bullet points that are like names and several that are like terminology bullet points. Because I'm not sure, like not happy with some of them. Oh, here's another one I haven't finished, but anyway. So things like that. But then like you get down to the X and you're like, what am I supposed to do for X? There's no terminology that I know of other than ex-husband, but you'd have to like misspell it or something. And like I haven't been able to figure out anything for Y. But anyway, so for right now, I'm leaving those sort of like highlighted. Yeah, Xena would work for a name, but I'm talking about like if you're an X-ray, maybe X-ray would work. I'll put it on there as sort of like a bullet. But like, yeah, so X and Y are giving me issues. Z, I'm figuring like maybe do a zone. So like that one I can do because I can have like a Zach or a Zoe or whatever. But like I also for W I have like Willow's warrant, which would fit with like the name and the terminology pattern. But I could also do on Willow's watch, and I kind of like that one better. So it's like choices. But anyway, this is like the random stuff that my brain does to me is like, oh, we're going to think of these things right now. So I had to pop open a secondary document and just kind of like get some words there. In terms of like making a list of titles because that's what my brain does sometimes. So if anybody is looking and needs a list of alphabetized alliterative titles, I I have a couple going, so you might want to hit me up. I don't know. I don't even know, like, is this the thing that I could do like on Fiverr? Just like present you an entire series list or series title list with options. I don't know if I would do that or not. I probably would just do it for fun. But yeah. So I have titles galore because that's what my brain does. Okay, I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to go back to my other document so that maybe I can stop thinking about these title options and actually get some more words done. It would probably sell on Fiverr. I mean, it could. So maybe. I'm not on Fiverr, so maybe I should be. I don't know. But yeah. So here we go. Okay. Don't forget that was the self-promo sprint, so make sure you pop your self-promo in the chat. Megan says, in this week's post, I dive into the archives and find the story of Edith Taylor, a woman from the early 20th century with a fascinating story. So here's the link for that. Or you can see all the things that Megan is doing on the web here at the link tree. And Monique was making some iced tea. Here is sunnydaleafterdark.com and that's Monique's stories. So here is Amanda's channel. And in Amanda's latest video, there is a link for donations in case you would like to donate for Amanda's medical expenses. And then on the Book of Face, is it Teodrin? Is on there and has gigs for describing locations, but can also do maps, languages, alphabets, races, cultures, and more if you reach out with what you need. Gig website. So this must be Fiverr rather than the Book of Face. Okay, my bad. Okay. The Book of Fives. There we go. Okay. Brain. Sorry, that took far longer than it should have to recognize that. Heather says, hello. Had something come up, so you're just now coming in. That's fine. You can come on in whenever you like. See, we got 536 words. Nice. Megan wrote a paragraph. Fantastic. Kate is here. Hello, hello. Sneaking away from work for the last sprint or two. Heather says, I'm going to be in Bartow, Florida tomorrow to be a vendor at the first annual Writer's Block Party presented by Bartow Con. Nice. Here's the link for that. That's amazing. An alphabetized list like that would be a good prompt for Nano. Yeah, especially if you're doing like short stories or drabbles for a camp, like do one a day type thing. Heather says, here's my channel where you stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. So here's the link for that. Amanda says, my sister has a gig like that where she names businesses, and she's had a few people reach out for book titles as well. Gotcha. The Book of Fives. Yeah. I was just don't know what I was going to call it. But because, I've heard people call Facebook the Book of Faces. And so that was just like, when I saw the big F, I was like, okay, must be Facebook. But then I read it again. And it was like the gig website. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry. My brain just is doing weird things today. So, all right, let's do another sprint. I am going to go check on the laundry during this sprint. So definitely make this a slightly longer sprint. So maybe another 30. Heather says, I was joking with some folks yesterday that I feel so legit joining freelance editors organizations that you should probably get the dark frame glasses back and buy an Argyle sweater. I mean, it is definitely a look. So, but on the other hand, the sweater might be a bit much for Florida. So you might have to find the Florida version of the editor look. I don't know what that would be. What I mean, that's a regional what would your regional editor look like? Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, brain. Let's scroll this one down to a 30. Okay, close enough. Present. Okay, so children. Okay, there we go. Children on the Book of Fives. The Gig of Fives website. Yeah, so hot already, right? Yeah. No, I'm easily distractible. What can I say? So, you know. Okay, so let's do a third sprint. One, save your document, whether you were creating titles and working on your draft, or you were just properly working on your draft. And make sure you take a sip of whatever it is that you're hydrating with. Cheers. Straighten your spine, roll those shoulders back for that posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take one. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. All right. Okay. Brain. Sorry. Save that. What is this? Amanda was getting ready for the trip to the cafe for the writing date, and you're wearing a NaNoWriMo winter shirt from 2019 for good luck. It's an excellent vibe to go with. Yes. Heather says, hey, reminder to check that you booped the like button. It's much appreciated if you have. So thank you. CB is wearing the Nano Builder of Worlds shirt. Also a good choice. Yes. Monique is going to have to go cook lunch after this. You think the conversation between Jane and the Duchess is going very well. Nice. About 483, probably ish, somewhere around there, because math isn't your strong suit. Same. So, all right. I'm gonna save this and close it because I need to go finish laundry, go to the grocery store, all that kind of fun stuff. Just like on the one day off that you have a week. Anyway, Megan says, I'm writing about how I triggered my lupus, and you're getting stuck writing about the before time. You're trying to figure out how to show how idyllic life was before. Yeah. And when you've had it's like once it becomes chronic and part of your life, it's hard to maybe remember the details of before. And sometimes, from what I understand, talking to people with chronic illness, is that if it was like a slow creep into your life, you don't necessarily know which symptoms were always attributed to like just casual like illness and allergies and such, and which ones were necessarily part of their chronic condition. But it's kind of like we're also taught to kind of like just kind of bear with things a lot of times. And so it's hard because we sort of brainwash ourselves into thinking, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about when you're talking to the doctor and they're like, oh, this can't be it type of like, it's, I don't know. Medical things are interesting and fascinating, but also, it's sometimes hard to cast our mind back and get like a real glimpse of what happened before. So yeah. Amanda says, by the way, unrelated to everything, but you had a dream the other night and woke up with a profound thought that there should be a cat named Soup. I think we talked about this, like the ginger cat, the orange cat that should be named Soup, because they're like tomato basil soup colored. I think we talked about that. Yeah. And I'm wholeheartedly on board with this idea. Megan says, oh yeah, I've blocked the happy memories for your mind. Apparently your case was very sudden though. Yeah, because I remember I think you said, well, I guess we're going to read about it in your next Substack post, but I think I remember you talking about you nicked yourself shaving and that was what triggered it. Is that? I think that's what it was. I could be wrong. I'll have to read your Substack when it comes out to verify my memory. CB says, I know this isn't the same, but I wasn't told that I was special needs till you were 9. You're a happy, healthy, well-behaved child until your mother told you. Yeah. Labels can be hard. Amanda says, for real though, medical gaslighting is awful. Yeah. Forget who've told. It's okay. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Yes. I remembered it correctly. And I think I also remember us talking or chatting about the fact that you know another Megan who has lupus. And so I was wondering about the correlation, not causation, but correlation between those named Megan or some variation of the spelling of the name. And like, is there a higher proportion of people named Megan that have triggered their lupus? Or I think I remember us talking about that. But yeah, so Kate says, you wrote 122 words before you got pulled into a meeting, so thanks for the sprint. You're welcome. Smiley face. Yes. Yeah, medical gaslighting is horrendous, and it happens to me all the darn time because what you have is so rare that only 40 people on the planet have it. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. So the NHS just doesn't know what to do with such a person. Yeah. I would just say that, you know, when it gets to that point, you have to have copies of your medical documentation and bring them with you to the consultations and be like, look, this is what I have. This is what I've tried. I don't want to try XYZ again because I know it doesn't work. Can you give me another avenue going forward? But yeah, I know that from what I understand, I don't know, but from what I understand, things get complicated when like you have to prove through an NHS doctor or through like the Canadian health system, like through one of their doctors, rather than going to an outside clinic and getting the same test done. Like there's something weird about that. Like they don't always accept that diagnosis or that. But I don't understand everything because I have enough trouble understanding the American health system, much less other policies. So apparently there's supposed to be a system in place for rarities, but it doesn't always work. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because generally, you know, 90% of the people that doctors see are going to be like the common ailments or common things. And so it's harder for rarities, as you put it. So same with chronic pain. You have memories of as early as elementary school where you were definitely having symptoms, but didn't know it and thought it was just like that for everybody else. Yeah. 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 We think we're normal until we're told otherwise. And so, yeah. If nobody ever tells us that that's not the norm, we never know. Heather says, I didn't get to my Substack this week due to life happening, but you have content planned. Yes. Megan says, yes, and the story gets wilder. Learn more next Thursday. Yes. Yes, yes. You should have medical documentation. So the next time that you ring up your doctor or the next time that you, in fact, it doesn't even have to be the next time you go in. You can request copies ahead of time because that is your personal information. So you should be able to have copies of that. So you might want to ring up at your doctor and ask that they send you copies of your medical history file, files, whatever they have, because you should be able to have access to that. Megan says, and I added the face and, oh no, you added the emoji and it erased the rest of the message. Oh no. Jen says, I don't know a lot about lupus, but it sounds terrible. I don't know a whole lot either. I mean, I know some, but I know that getting it diagnosed is years in the making, usually. So, your godmother has fibromyalgia too. Yeah, fibromyalgia is another nasty one from what I understand. It's definitely not fun, but you feel so at home in the disability community. You've got EDS. Yeah. My brother has been diagnosed by like the last year with EDS. So you have POTS as well. Ooh, on top of that, fibromyalgia, and you have yet to be diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome. And Is it Chiari or Chiari malformation? Goodness gracious. That's a lot. Amanda says, or to Amanda, Megan says, same. You used to get sun sensitivity from the lupus as a child, and you thought it was just getting hot flashes as a child. Lupus causes more like, sort of like, interesting. I hadn't heard of that symptom. Interesting. CB says, when I was trying to get tested for autism, I got passed around from pillar to post like parcel. Oh, okay. You have a report from a psychologist when you were 12. And that's it. You should have more documentation than that, CB. So I would suggest hunting down some of that. I mean, if you feel up to it, but I would highly suggest making sure that you have copies of documentation as to your medical history. Amanda says, I brought in a huge list of symptoms to the neurosurgeon, and before I said a word, she says, I know what you have, and then interrupt me the whole time. Ooh. That's not comforting. It's pronounced Chiari. Okay. It's a skull deformation where the brain gets squished and requires a surgery. Oh no, that is scary. And also made scarier by a doctor who doesn't listen. CB says, that's it. So when you were trying to get the extra time for your written music theory exams, it was a nightmare. Yeah, I would make sure that you have documentation just to make your life way easier. I would make sure that you have documentation. Your MRI clearly shows, in your opinion, but you have to wait and see what the neurosurgeon says to see if you need a second opinion. Yeah. If the neurosurgeon is not like listening to you, I don't know how much you want to trust them. So yeah, that's a conundrum for sure. Still can't get a test for dyspraxia. I honestly, like, I know that there are tests that exist. I know dyspraxia is a thing, but I don't think most people know how to test for it. And so it may just be that the people around you who you are asking don't know how to test for it. Heather says, I've had a head injury when you were a teenager where you probably had a mild concussion, but you feel like you're forgetting something. I mean, concussions can sometimes cause that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that here. Oh, you don't think you're allowed to access? You should be. I would ask about that because that's your information and you should be able to have copies of it. Megan says, if you are part of the NHS, which you are, you have a right to your records, according to what Megan just looked up. Yeah, so you should be able to ask for and receive your records, copies of your records. So yeah, CB, I would definitely ask about that. I'm happy they take heart problems seriously. At least they did in your case. Good. All this compounded by your husband losing his job through no fault. Oh no, that's like high stress. Oh goodness. I'm sorry. That's a lot. I think you can still request to be tested, or you should still be able to. Oh, thank you, Megan. Here's a link for confidentiality and data protection in regards to your health records. Yeah, CB, I would definitely make sure you try and track down some of your documentations. So, but goodness gracious. All right, Amanda. Well, I hope you enjoy your writing out in the cafe, and definitely enjoy and save all your documents for sure. Okay, so your parents are not your guardians. Yeah. NHS, I think any health field is, or any health stuff can be incredibly frustrating, but yeah. So good luck to us all in terms of health and writing. And have, again, I'm not going to be off again until Monday, as far as I know. So Monday, I will hopefully be streaming, maybe a longer stream session. Hopefully, cross our fingers, get some more writing done. But I feel like I made a good bit of progress today. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will hopefully see y'all on Monday. And maybe I'll be able to join in some evening streams that other people are hosting, or do some pop-ups if I am able to get off of work early enough. So, all right. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right. Bye.